The Kotzker Rebbe was once asked, "Where is God?" Profound existential question. His answer was simple: God is wherever you let him in. We are speaking about God as creator, but God in a personal manner is wherever you let him in. We have to appreciate him as creator, but at the same time, we have to appreciate and understand that ultimately we have a personal relationship with God. Where do you let him in? Welcome to Tanya Today. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zuchen Kadeshim in Montreal, Canada, where it's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. We are in chapter 7 of Shar Yichud Ve'emunah, in the gate of divine unity and faith, understanding what our faith is. It's a very deep and profound one. About koyach hapoel benifal, about finding the creator within creation. We are not discussing here how to find God personally in a personal connection, but how to find him as the creator. Meaning, to appreciate the physics, the pure physics of the universe is our endeavor. And that's not personal, as no physicist will ever tell you that when they understand physics of the universe, there's anything personal about it. Yet, we shouldn't ever forget that we do have a personal relationship with God. But let us continue to understand the pure physics of the universe. And today we will deal with just one component about the fact that God is Soivev Kol Almin. He encompasses all of the worlds, all of the galaxies, all of creation. He encompasses the physical world, the spiritual world. He encompasses. Now, when my hand encompasses this cup, what does that mean? And especially if I'm encompassing it, hard to do this now because it won't float by itself. I tried to have this levitate. It's not working. But if it were to levitate and I were encompassing it, so I'd be beyond it, but I wouldn't be in it, which would suggest I'm removed from it. So what do we mean that God is all-encompassing? When the Alter Rebbe has taught us that when we speak about Tzimtzum, that God contracts upon his infinite being, which his infinite being is not an encompassing being, because encompassing means encompassing something, means you're relative to it. That's already a contraction upon the essence of God himself, because the essence of God is beyond being beyond. And when you encompass something, you're beyond it, but you're not beyond it. You're relative to what you're beyond. But the problem is how can we even speak about Soivev Kol Almin, that God is encompassing all of creation, meaning he's removed from it? When Tzimtzum is not to be understood literally, that God removed himself when he contracts himself. He only hid himself, not removed himself. But in the term soivev, encompassing, that God encompasses all of creation, How should we understand that then? Question clear? Yeah. Difficulty is the difficulty. In others, the term suggests removal, separation, right? My hand is encompassing this cup, but I'm removed from it. I'm not in the cup. I'm not part of the world of the cup. I'm beyond the cup. I'm not part of its world. So if we say that God is encompassing, it is suggesting that God is removed himself. Well, we know, as we have learned previously, that tzimtzum, contraction, that God can be, that is encompassing, is already a contraction of the infinite of God, cannot be that he removed himself in any manner. But this terminology suggests differently. So he explains by way of an analogy, a metaphor. Everybody, close your eyes for a moment and picture in your mind. What are you picturing in your mind? A beautiful scene. Be that you're learning Tanya, or be that you are by the sea, by the ocean, by the lake, and you see God's beautiful creation. You're there with your family, or you're at a Shabbos table together with family and friends, and you're celebrating. And in your mind, what are you doing? You've pictured this, and it's encompassed in your mind, is the term we use. Correct? It's encompassed in my mind. Huh? Enveloped. Enveloped, encompassed. Envelop might not be the same. Might not. Let's stick with encompassed. So that thought that we create in our minds, or that we conjure up in our minds, I don't know if we create, but we conjure up in our minds, right? It's merely the image, but yet the way we image it in our minds, we call it encompassed in our minds. So is it in our minds? Yes. At the same time, we call it encompassed. The same thing is, except the difference being in this metaphor is the only thing I have encompassed in my mind is the image of this cup, or the image of my family sitting around the Shabbos table. Beautiful image, by the way. 10 children, 10 spouses, grandchildren sitting around the table on Shabbos, celebrating, saying a l'chaim, saying words of Torah, eating a beautiful meal together. Oh, that's all encompassed in my mind. I create, so to speak, create it. But in that we call it encompassing, even though it's in my mind. So the same thing is, but it's not merely the image. When we say that God is giving life, is giving vitality from the all-encompassing light of God, the life force, it's all-encompassing. Really, it's God's very awareness of me, of the galaxies and everything, including this paper cup, that the very knowledge of God is what gives it existence, and it's encompassing, as it were, in the mind of God. And therefore, its only existence is out of nothingness, just like the image in my mind of my family around the Shabbos table is a creation that is totally only exists, the image, because I will it to exist, I think it to exist. So is God. But it's not something that he's removed, because it's encompassed with, we call it within. As opposed to the term encompass means from without, from beyond. In the mind, we call it the encompassed image in my mind is within the mind. And that's, therefore, when God thinks me, think me, I am. Right? Brings into existence. So, where's God to be found? Everywhere. Pure physics of the universe, that God encompasses it all from within his mind. He thinks it is. Or, in that encompassing form, it's thinking it. Then it comes down into the actual word of God. But we'll get there. Any questions? Any comments? Powerful idea. Brief, simple idea, but very powerful.
Is where you let him in.
That's on a person. That was on a personal level, right? That's not what we're talking about here. Right. Right.
Yep. I thought that would be a good heading.
Okay, I don't see any questions here. All right, amazing. Folks, I just want to bring to our attention the golden nuggets every day from the Alter Rebbe. And every day there's just another nuanced teachings that is a golden nugget. It's mind-blowing to think that every day there's just another angle on seeing the divine and seeing the novel teachings on a daily basis. How blessed are we? I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zich and Gedeshim in Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Have an amazing